What's good, guys? Fantasy Joe back here with some more fantasy football. Today, I'm talking about best ball format drafts. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section down below. I'll respond as always. Let me know if you guys like this best ball content. I'll start bringing more of it out. Just trying it out to see what people think. I enjoy playing it, but we'll see if people are into it or what not. But yeah, going to be breaking down some drafts I've done recently, my ideology, what I'm thinking, hopefully give some guys some pointers, some guys I'm drafting in best ball. And yeah, for anyone who doesn't know the difference between best ball, basically you draft a roster at the beginning of the season and then you leave it. You don't make any ads, you don't make any start-sit decisions. Your best scoring roster from the players you drafted in 18 rounds will be scored. So let's say Ryan Tannehill scores 24 points one week and Josh Allen has 18. Ryan Tannehill will be my quarterback that has played that week, and it's your highest possible roster, and you compete against everybody else. So basically you draft your teams at the beginning, then you're done. Okay, so let's take a look at this team. So I took Josh Allen in the third round of this draft. I was able to get Josh Jacobs in round 2. I started everything off with Cooper Kupp. Tannehill's been going really late. I love snagging up Tannehill. He's got rushing upside as well as DeAndre Hopkins, Treylon Burks, Chigaquanquo, tight end. Good weapons. He's going like QB 27. That's great value in my opinion. Just a guy you can add to a Josh Allen in one of your last rounds. Give you that quarterback too and give you some upside as well. Josh Jacobs, I think, is just going to get a ton of volume. Kenneth Walker, I think he'll have good weeks. And obviously, the nice part is you can draft some guys that might be a little bit more volatile in leagues like this, that you get those best weeks whenever they occur. Roster formation-wise, too, I'll try to take 2 to 3 quarterbacks, probably 2 or 3. Take 3 if I don't have a stud quarterback. I'm in that top 10 to lean on. Even like a Kirk Cousins, I feel like I can lean on somewhat, but I still might take 2 or 3 quarterbacks. 5 or 6 RBs. You want to take 6 to 9 wide receivers. Basically, I think the more the merrier if you can get them. 2 or 3 tight ends. The wide receivers, it's nice because it's a 3 wide receiver league, so you need guys that can fill in. I tried taking Mike Williams, just a big explosive guy. He might miss some games due to injury, but I think he is a guy who could finish the wide receiver 1 this season. Cooper Kupp, I love taking just because I think he'll be so consistent. The guy who I think will be plugging weeks into my team each and every week. And then down here, I took Chig, Greg Dulcich, Mike Gesicki, just 3 tight guys I'd like to target. Devontae Parker's going really late. I think he's going to catch some touchdowns. Alan Lazard, Mike Evans, I think will catch touchdowns too. My biggest regret with this team was taking Marquise Brown. I took this before all the Colt McCoy news, but I should have taken Gabe Davis. And I got in that Josh Allen stack, but I would have really liked that. Let's take a look at our next team. So I took Tua and Geno in this league. I think those are 2 solid mid options. But I was able to start the draft off with Christian McCaffrey, which I love. This team is pretty RB heavy with McCaffrey, Jacobs, Montgomery, Dillon, Ford. Pretty good running backs for one of these little type of leagues. So I had to take a lot of shots at wide receiver. But I was able to get Mike Williams again, Terry McLaurin, JSN. Both those guys might miss some time. So I believe I took 9 receivers on this team. Yeah. Took a lot of shots at that wide receiver position. Again, you can see Devontae Parker, Justin Ross, Jalen Hyatt, Rashee Rice. In hindsight, might not have taken Justin Ross, and I took Rashee Rice, might have taken a different last pick. I do remember thinking that, but I think Van Jefferson is extremely underrated in drafts. I think he'll be that number 2. He averaged over 7 yards per game, 7 targets per game when he was filling that role. So a guy I like taking. I got that elite tight end in Mark Andrews down there. That's what I think. Basically, the onesie positions, if you have a real stud at one of those positions, I'm probably only taking one other compliment. I'm going to take him late and rely on that guy to be a stud in this type of format. Moving on to our next, we got Justin Herbert, probably my favorite quarterback to get in these type of leagues. I just think he has so much upside from his draft position. Could be the QB1. Can have as many pass attempts as anybody in football, and is going to have a chance to throw a bunch of touchdowns with the wide receivers and the offensive scheme they have there. Got McCaffrey again, this one. Aaron Jones, another guy that drops late. He's a little bit more volatile, but I don't mind that in these type of formats. Love Khalil Herbert in that 7th, 8th, all I can get him. I think one backfield, I guess you can see, but I'm targeting a lot of these drafts, is I'm trying to get Jeff Wilson or Raheem Mostert late. I think one of them will be the starter a good chunk of the season or have the best games a big chunk of the season. I don't have to pick which one, so I like that. Tajay Spears, cuffed to Derrick Henry, who plays Houston twice in the playoffs, so add him for upside. Took a lot of shots here. Jalen Waddle, DK, Gabe Davis, Christian Kirk, Juju, Alan Lazard. I really like the receivers on this team, honestly, considering the backs and Herbert that I was able to stack with them. Took some shots here at the tight end with Freiermuth, Greg Dulcich, and Zach Ertz. Dulcich, a guy I love taking in these drafts. Just think he'll be more involved in the passing game than people realize. Maybe one of my most regrettable picks so far was taking Kyler. I did that a few days ago. Definitely regretted it. It looks like he obviously started the season on the pup. Knew that might happen, but could miss, a bunch of the season this year the way it's looking. But is able to get Dameon Pierce, kind of more of an RB by committee, taking some of those mid-round guys and just stacking a lot of them. But Dameon Pierce, Miles Sanders, guys who should get some volume. Khalil Herbert, I think will get volume. A.J. Dillon, a guy who should get some work and then has league-winning upside if something happens to Aaron Jones. Took Kareem Hunt late with the Jonathan Taylor situation, and I was thinking, he's gotten 4 offers, so I think he'll sign with the team sooner rather than later. But I was able to get some studs here, wide receivers, Stephon Diggs, A.J. Brown, Christian Watson, Mike Williams, JSN, Gallup, Slayton. When you're talking about having the 3 wide receivers and 2 flexes, it gives you a lot of opportunity, or it's 1 flex, but it gives you a lot of opportunity to be able to slide, start 3 of these guys in a Mike Williams or a JSN, depending on who pops off on any given week. And I like taking a lot of wide receivers. Wide receivers are just generally inconsistent. That's why I like if you can get one of those Tyreeks, one of those Cooper Kupps, or somebody like that. I basically want one of those elite wide receivers in that first or second round. Or, you only get the elite guys in the first round. Or I want a Christian McCaffrey, a Bijan Robinson, something like that who I think can be that league-winning type of RB. And then took Freiermuth and Greg Dulcich later. So those are some guys that I'm targeting, just some rosters that I've taken recently. Wanted to show you guys the type of teams that I've been taking in this recently. And like I said, I really like targeting a lot of wide receivers because they're going to be inconsistent, but you're going to need a lot of scoring from that position. And then trying to get 1 or 2 stud running backs and then just build the rest of those guys. Give me 4 or 3 other guys and 1 cup at the end with a bunch of explosive ability to, a Jerome Ford, a Tajay Spears, who if the incumbent Derrick Henry or Nick Chubb goes down, they could be, the guy there and have a ton of upside. That's something in these leagues too. You won't be taking other teams' backups. Gives your team more upside. If Derrick Henry goes down, you're probably not winning your league anyway if you invested all that draft capital into him. But if you have, let's say, Nick Chubb, for example, and you have a Tajay Spears in your bench, Derrick Henry goes down, all of a sudden you might have 2 top 10 running backs that you weren't planning on that you got in the last round. It gives you a great chance of winning your league, especially those late round draft picks. You're looking for that high upside, and some of those guys have the most. If you guys have made it to this point in the video, please let me know what you think down below. If you guys want more best ball content, I will bring it. We'll see how this one goes, and I'll probably determine it. But yeah, that's been Fantasy Joe. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, hit that like button, and if you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. I'll respond as always. See you guys next time.